A very good morning, dear children. We were doing chapter 13, magnetic effects of electric current, and in our last class we did electric motor. Now in this class we will be doing electromagnetic induction. English physicist Michael Faraday in 1831 made an important breakthrough by discovering how moving magnet can be used to generate electricity. So after this was a very important breakthrough, children, because on this principle electric generators were made, and till date in power plant, in every power plant, this principle is being used. Let us see the demonstration in NCERT book. This is the diagram picture which is given in your NCERT book. It consists of a coil, a galvanometer and one bar magnet, you can see. Now what is a galvanometer? It is an instrument that can detect the presence of a current in a circuit. The pointer remains at 0 for no current, and it can deflect either to the left side or to the right side of the 0 mark depending on the direction of the current. Now the question can be that why we cannot use an ammeter in place of galvanometer. The answer for that is that the ammeter measures the value of the current, whereas the galvanometer, it just detects whether the current is being produced or it's moving through the circuit or not. So that's why the galvanometer is being used in the circuit. Now I am going to demonstrate you the activity by which electromagnetic induction is being demonstrated, the same demonstration which is given in your NCERT book. Now here you can see this is a solenoid coil of 5000 turns, and this is the remaining portion of the wire left from the solenoid, which has been connected to another wire with black insulation. The end part of this wire, we are going to connect it with the galvanometer, that is the red end, it is a positive terminal. Another part of this wire solenoid that has been connected to another wire which is having yellow insulation, and the end part of it is going to be connected to the negative end of the galvanometer. Now the galvanometer, this has been connected. The galvanometer should be at the 0 end, but due to some technical fault it is not, pointer is not pointing at the 0 end. We will take a magnet now, and the magnet will, you can see here, this is the north and south marked in the magnet. When this one portion, that is north, has been taken toward and pushed toward the coil, then a deflection you will be able to observe. See, can you see it on the screen? This is the deflection that you will observe every time we take the magnet toward the coil and away from it, like this. And now if I reverse the direction of the this magnet, you will see that there is a change in the direction of the deflection. Now let us conclude what we learned from this demonstration. So what we learned is that whenever the magnet has been taken toward the coil, there is some deflection seen in the galvanometer. When the coil is held stationary, then there is no deflection seen. When the magnet is taken away from the coil, then again the galvanometer shows some deflection. So whenever the deflection is we observe, that means there is a relative motion between the magnet and the coil, due to which it is showing the deflection. So this deflection is due to the presence of the induced current which is generated in the coil. Let us see the cause of it, why this induced current is generated. It is generated due to the magnetic field lines which enters in the coil or leave the coil. These lines, arrows, are representing the magnetic field lines which are entering the coil. And it will be more clear with this picture. You can see this magnet has been brought nearer to the coil, and only one magnetic field line is entering in the coil, right? Now in the next case, in this particular case, you can see there are more number of magnetic field lines, about 5 lines are entering in the coil. So since there is a change in the number of lines which are entering the coil, because of this change in the magnetic field lines which are entering in the coil, due to which the induced current is generated. Now let us see the definition of the electromagnetic induction. This process by which a changing magnetic field in a conductor induces a current in another conductor is called electromagnetic induction. This is given in your book, children. This you need to mark and you need to write in your copy as well. This is the definition of electromagnetic induction. Now, let us see some important facts. The three ways to induce current in a coil. The first one is relative motion between coil and magnet, as we have seen it in the demonstration. The second one is relative motion between coil and current carrying conductor. In this one, we do not need to take a magnet. In spite of magnet, we can take a current carrying conductor and move it toward and away from the coil. The third one is change in the magnitude of current in the conductor placed near a coil. And in this condition, what can be done is, in place of magnet, we can use this current carrying conductor, and we do not have to move it toward or away from the coil. We just have to increase or decrease the magnitude of current. If that is done rapidly, then the induced current will be produced. So these are the three ways by which induced current can be generated in a coil. Now we will see an application part of electromagnetic induction. Electric generator. This is the application of electromagnetic induction, and this is the last topic, children, in your NCERT book, because after this the next topic, domestic electric circuit, in the revised syllabus, that has been deleted this time. So this will be probably the last topic. Let us see. A device that convert mechanical energy into electrical energy is known as electric generator. This is just the reverse of what we have studied in electric motor. In electric motor, it was conversion of electrical to mechanical, and in generator, we will generate electricity by doing some mechanical work. The principle behind it is electromagnetic induction, that we have already done. These are the construction: a rectangular coil ABCD, also known as armature coil. Then it will be surrounded by a pair of permanent strong magnet to produce strong magnetic field. And the third one is we will use here slip ring. Slip ring, this is used in place of split ring. We are going to use slip ring. Why? Because this is an AC generator. In AC generator, slip rings are used. And if it is a DC, then split ring will be used. The next part are the carbon brushes. A pair of carbon brushes will be used, which will be, the purpose of it will be acting like a bridge between the armature and the galvanometer. And the fifth and the last part is the galvanometer, instead of using battery that we used in the electric motor. Since we are going to generate the current, so that's why we are using galvanometer. Let us see the working now. Children, in this diagram, you can see that there is no galvanometer connected over here. The galvanometer is the symbol that the battery supply, that the power supply has not been provided. We are going to generate the current, and this is an AC generator. Now, apart from the construction that we have gone through, since there is no power supply, so the armature is not going to rotate by itself. We have to do it manually. That means the mechanical energy is going to be converted into electrical energy. For that, these two magnetic strong permanent magnets, they have been connected, and you can see this is the direction of the magnetic field line as it is drawn from north to south. When the arm AB is being rotated in such a way that AB is going to come out of the boat upward, then in that condition the induced current generated should be in the upward direction. What do we apply? We apply the right hand rule. The right hand thumb rule says that if this is the direction of the magnetic field and this is the direction of the force, that is, it is coming outward, then this will be the direction of the current, that is upward. So the direction of the current will be going from A toward B. Induced current will be produced. Similarly, when the CD is going to go inward, this is representing the direction of force which is going inside the boat. So when CD goes inward and the direction of the magnetic field is again from north to south. So this is the direction of the magnetic field. This is the direction of the thumb. Thumb is going inside the boat. And then if I stretch the middle finger, it is going in the downward direction. That means this will be the direction of the current in the CD from C to T. So induced current will be produced in this particular direction for the first rotation. So in this case, the direction of the current moves from A, B, C and D. This goes for one half rotation. For the next half, the CD is going to come this side and AB is going to go this side. So we can mark this as CD and this side can be marked as AB. Again, the same thing will happen. CD now this time is going to come outward and AB is going to go inward. And because of it, the direction of the current will now get interchanged. It will be moving from DCBA. Earlier it was moving from ABCD and now it is going to move from DCBA. So there is a change in the direction of the current, and this alternate change in the direction of the current, because of it, the name has been given alternating current or AC current. And this type of generator which produces this type of current, alternating current, is termed as AC generator. So this was all about the AC generator, children. You need to copy the diagram, you need to copy the construction, the principle, the definition of electric generator, and you need to practice it again and again because these are very important topics, children. And keep studying. We will continue the end of the chapter in our next class. Till then, thank you.